just dropped an entire bottle of milk in the house. And because the kids are in the house and don't like swearing around them, I dove straight into a Wiggles song. Alright fellas, let's not cry over the spilled milk, but let's have a check up on the coconut shy PA, which we kegged the other day, and as you know I was having trouble with the siphon, which we'll get into in a minute. This is gonna... What are you doing? I'm over here. Sounds a bed chest. This is going to segue into another part of the video, but she's still murky as all holy hell, but she's starting to carb up. She's starting to stream a tiny little bit, tiny little bubbles. Now, as you know, we had issues with the siphon. It was dragging air through. For some unknown reason, it's just started to happen. So I'm not holding out much hope that this coconut shy is going to come off unscathed. I think it's going to be oxidised, and I think we're going to pretty much pick up on it in the next weeks leading up to its conditioning. Regardless, it smells good. I can smell it from here. It smells nice and tropical, and the toasted coconut's definitely there. It ain't bad. When did I get this kegged? Tuesday? I think I got it kegged Tuesday. And this is Friday. So it's been in the keg 3 days. Apart from it being murky, there's nothing too much dissimilar to it from when we tasted it. So I'm still not holding out hope for it. I think that oxidisation is going to creep in. I can't even tell you if I'm picking up a little bit now, whether it's just because it's in my mind to be looking out for it because I know what I've done, if that makes sense. Whether my mind's adding something that's not there. Maybe a little bit, but I don't know. If that's all it's going to be, though, I can hack that. That's not taking anything away from the beer. For me personally, just to drink it in here. I would be absolutely gutted if I was doing something else with it, like entering into a competition or selling it, but it's just me drinking it, so it's not too bad. Not too bad. Right, I had a question asked me on the kegging of the shy. I've left my phone upstairs, so I can't reread the message, but in a nutshell they were basically on about how I carbonate my beers. I think he was very new to it, and I think he was asking for some help. I'm going to explain what I do, but I know that there are a lot of people that do it a lot of different ways. If you want to chime in on that, you can either leave a comment down here if you're going to see this video, or if you check out the Kegging of the Shy PA and just have a look for his comment and reply. Someone else has already started to leave their replies on the kegging. Let's have a look what we've got it set at. I mean, she's murky, but you can tell that when you agitate it, there's something happening in there, obviously. So this one's the shy, and it's on the right regulator. She's sat at, what's she sat at? 12.5? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 14.5. 14.5 to 15 psi is what she's set at. What I'll do is I'll just leave it there until I know by sampling the odd half pint that she's at the right level of carbonation for my preference. And then once that's happened, then I will knock the pressure down to serving pressure, so 4 psi, something like that, 6 psi. Can't even remember what I've got the pressure set at. What's the Pilsner set at? 6. The Pilsner's sat at 6, and that's it. Then I just drink it. I think he'd said that he'd either had trouble with overcarbonating them or undercarbonating the beers. Well, the undercarbonating is something that you can change very easily by just upping the pressure if it's undercarbonated and leaving it till you've got it right. but the over-carbonating of the beers is a little bit more difficult. You have to try and knock it out. So I don't tend to do the secondary. I don't do secondary. I used to, but I don't anymore. So I'm in no rush to carbonate the beers because they've got to have a bit of conditioning time anyway. So in the week or two of having it sat at like 15 psi, then it's slowly carbonated to what I want it to be when it's ready to drink, if that makes sense. Right, the Siphon. I had some good response on the last video, the Kegging of the Shy, where they were talking about troubles that people were having with their siphons and various parts of them. The hose wasn't on right, and the seal needed lubing, or it had been left in cleaner and it had dried out. I don't know. Different stories of malfunctioning siphons. So I said I'd have a look at it. I don't know why it's just suddenly started. It's not like it was giving me a little bit of jip, but then it was okay. It just suddenly went straight to doing it. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to do a bit of a test. I've got cleaner in the fermenter, which I've got to get out. So I may as well use the siphon to siphon a bit out into the other bucket that's underneath the keys at the minute, and just see what's happening now with it. So this is the fermenter that we have just, not 3-4 days ago, wrapped the coconut shy. God bless your soul. The krausen on this was pretty baked on, and I give it a good squirt with the hose anyway when I'm cleaning them out before I put the cleaner in, and it wasn't shifting it. Now with the plastic fermenters, I never ever scrub them. I don't even wipe them. All I do is I soak them in cleaner. So this has been 3-4 days, and it's crystal. It's fetched that krausen ring off. There ain't a scent of it anywhere. I obviously need to do the outside, but I ain't fussed about the outside. It's just the inside I'm bothered about. Because of course, anything even like this, you know, doing it with one of these, cleaning up, you've only got to pick something up in there, a little bit of grit or something like that, and if you put the slightest bit of scratch in them, especially the plastic buckets. I'm going to be moving into the stainless steel stuff eventually, but plastic, especially the plastic, once you put a little scratch in it, a little nick, it's never going to get cleaned properly, and then you're going to get stuff growing in there, which we don't want. Okay, so let's break it down a second. Have a look at this. Well, this in here hasn't got a rubber flange in it. I think it's a hard plastic. Yeah, it's just a hard plastic flap that moves up and down. That looks fine. The plunger end on inspection looks okay. I can't see any nicks in it or any perishing, and it looks supple enough. So there's nothing screaming out on that end. This end, where the hose fits onto like the plastic barb, I think someone mentioned that they had trouble where this wasn't on enough and it was sucking air in. Well, she's moved, but she hasn't moved since I've had anything to do with her. But she's been pushed on a little bit more now, so maybe that was it. I don't know, but it hasn't. I've never moved that, never touched it. So that being said, let's put it all back together, and we'll do a bit of siphoning up here. Right, lid off. So let's reenact the day. It's a lovely beer, look at it. Oh, the coconut aromas. Mwah. Siphon in, couple of toots, and she's flowing. She's siphoning now with no problem. So maybe she was just wanting to dick me over. God damn it. So as you can see, she's a flowing, and we've decided to pick up 0 bubbles, 0 air. There's nothing down hitherwards, because some people were saying that they were squirting a bit of the finished beer down here, so that if it did suck, it was sucking beer through or star sand in my case, but not air. I tried that and it was still doing it, so it's a mystery. Maybe it was this, maybe it was this portion. So if I pull this down a little bit, who knows? Right, so push this up before, so if I pull it back down, still not doing it. Still not doing it. No. Bastard. Right then, if I pull this end here a little bit, I'm still coming out of there, aren't we yet? Fuck me, bastard! Right, so try again. If I pull this end off a little bit, see it's moved, it was up here, now it's down there. It's still not doing it, so it's not sucking air in through here. Anyway, let's push this back on all the way. I have no idea, I'm none the wiser why it was playing up with the shy. It's a mystery then. I'm none the wiser as to why it was acting up on the Kegging video. Mystery. The only other thing I can think is possibly when I was siphoning the beer off, could it be possible that I may have got a little bit of coconut under my flange? Let me rephrase that. Could I have got a little bit of coconut in between the rubber seal on the end of the cane and the wall of the siphon? Maybe, yeah, if I got a little bit of debris, like a bit of toasted coconut, that was in between the rubber and the wall of the siphon to create a little gap, maybe then that's how I would be sucking air through. That's the only possibility I can think of, because as we've just seen, it's now working a treat. Thank goodness it worked without getting oxygen into the cleaning solution. Thank God it saved that little trick for the chai. I'm going to be working on the keezer at the weekend, so I said I was going to talk about the intertap a little bit. I took this off, turns out there's nothing to see. This little flow control handle has a little ring on it that you unscrew. Inside, attached to the flow control handle, is this little offset pin. It must rotate an inner tube. An inner tube must rotate that inner part to obviously wind the flow. So I think it's just moving that inner section on first looks like this. I've not actually looked on any drawings, but it must move that inner section in the tap to allow more flow. Very interesting. Very interesting. It wasn't interesting at all. I thought I might be able to see a little bit more and explain a little bit more. Turns out, nope. 20 minutes of my life I'll never get back. Regardless of all that useless information, we're going to be fitting this over the weekend. So we're going to be drilling holes in the collar, we're going to be fitting the tap, the shank, the lines, and I'm still waiting on a regulator to come. I think it's going to come tomorrow. So that's it. Once we get everything installed, the only thing that's going to stop us getting it hooked up to the keg is I need another gas in, what the fuck are they called? I need another gas in port and a beer in port that clips over the posts. Can't even think what they're called, so God help me. But once I've ordered them, then we're good to go. We'll have another keg up and running. I've still actually got to test that keg to see if it holds pressure. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyway, that's it, guys. That wraps up a video. On a side note, this week's pretentious beer notes is going to be late. Possibly up next week. Maybe I'll have two up next week. I've just been mega busy, alright?
Freaking Jesus.
That's it, guys. So as always, don't forget to thumbs video, kitchen raw. Don't forget to hit us like and subscribe, click it, you won't start to come in the next show, the video, get it out. Oh, to see you until next time. I'm out of here.